get ready to cool down and stretch. It's important after a workout to cool down and to stretch your muscles. So make sure your muscles are warm. Never stretch cold muscles. Avoid bouncing when you stretch. Stretch all of your major muscle groups and make sure you hold for about 15 to 30 seconds. Let's begin our cool down with marching. We're going to take 2 steps in and then 2 wide steps out. So step for 2 in and then 2 out and back in. And while you're doing this, you can move your arms up and down or back and forth. And it's a good way to get the cardiovascular system to come back down to normal after a hard workout. So you don't want to just stop your activity. You want to gradually lessen the amount of activity. We're going to continue with walking jacks. Same motion as a jumping jack, but you're going to walk 2 steps and then go reverse to the other direction for 2 steps. You want to be in a semi-squatted position with your knees slightly bent and behind your toes. And as you step out 2 steps to each side, your hands are going to come up over your head. So 2 steps to one side and then 2 steps to the other side while the hands are reaching up over the head. Another good low impact activity to bring that cardiovascular system back down to normal. Slowing it down even more with toy soldiers. You're going to just lift your legs with a straight leg and flexed foot and alternate trying to touch with the opposite hand. You don't have to actually touch the toes. Just go as far as you can, whatever is comfortable. Make sure to keep breathing throughout the exercises. And let's continue with marching in place again. 2 in and 2 out. Closed stance, open stance. Closed stance, open stance. 2 in, 2 out. Move those arms up and down or back and forth. Again, another low impact activity that helps get your heart rate down after you've pumped it up and worked hard. And now we're going to do some stretches. Let's start on the wall for an upper back, shoulder, and chest stretch. Stand away from the wall about 2 feet and reach your hands above your head until you touch the wall and press your chest down towards the ground while you keep a flat back. Stay at the wall for calf stretches. 1 foot in front is with a bent leg and the leg behind you is straight as you try to move that bent leg towards the wall. Hands are on the wall to support you, and you should feel this in the back of the calf of the straight leg that's behind you. Same thing on the other side. Front leg is bent, back leg is straight, hands are on the wall, and you're going to try and bring that bent knee closer to the wall as you feel the stretch in the back straight leg. Only go until you feel the stretch and then hold it. Let's move on to the Achilles. You're going to stand with your knees bent, 1 foot in front of the other, keeping your knees behind your toe on that front leg. You're going to sit back onto your back heel. You should feel this in the back Achilles of the back leg. Going to do the same thing on the other side. Front leg is bent with knee behind the toe, back leg is bent, and you're sitting towards that back heel. The further you go into that sit, the more you should feel it in the Achilles at the bottom of the calf of that back leg. Outer leg stretch or hip abductor stretch, an IT band stretch. You're going to hold sideways to the wall with your hand on the wall. The leg behind you is straight, the leg in front of you is bent, and you press that hip of the straight leg towards the wall. Same thing on the other side. You should feel this in the outer part of the leg and hip. Leg behind you is straight, leg in front of you is bent, and you're pushing the hip of the straight leg towards the wall to get that stretch in the outer thigh, and hip. Let's stretch the inner thighs. This one is stepping out into a side lunge. And as you step out into the side lunge, you bring your arm across your chest with your opposite arm. So this stretches the inner thigh as well as your shoulder. Let's get ready to reverse it to the other side. Stepping out into a side lunge, one leg is bent, one leg is straight. The straight leg, you'll feel the stretch on the inner thigh of that straight leg. And as you pull your arm across your chest with the opposite hand, you will feel that in your shoulder as well. Let's continue stretching the shoulder, putting one leg behind you, and then grab the arm and with the opposite hand and pull it towards the side. So right leg goes behind you and left hand grabs the right hand and pulls that arm towards the left. Great for the side and shoulders. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Left leg behind you, right hand grabs the left wrist and pulls towards the right, stretching the left side and shoulder. Good for the shoulders and the obliques. Stretching the front of the thigh or the quadriceps muscles. Hold on to a wall for support. Lift up your leg with a bent knee and grab your ankle and try to pull your heel towards your butt as much as you can. You should feel that stretch in the front of the thigh. Switching to the opposite leg, draw up the knee, grab the ankle, and pull that leg towards the butt, the heel towards the butt. So flex your foot and try to bring your heel towards your butt. And again, you should feel this in the front of the thigh or the quadriceps muscle. Hold the wall for balance if you need to. Now we'll work the hamstrings or back of the thighs. And you're going to bend one leg and have the other leg out in front that is straight. And you're going to sit back on the bent leg as you bend forward over the straight leg and try to touch your toe. Flex your foot and bring your toe towards your chest. You should feel this in the back of the thigh. Same thing on the opposite side. Front leg is straight, back leg is bent. Sitting back on that back leg and reaching forward over the front outstretched leg as far as you can go. If you can reach your toes, you want to pull the toes up towards your chest. The further you sit into that, the more you'll feel it. Stretching the front hip flexor muscles in the groin area and the top of the thigh. The leg behind you is straight, the leg in front of you is bent, reaching up with your opposite hand and turning towards the side of the straight leg. Opposite side, leg behind you straight, leg in front of you is bent, arm is up, and you're turning towards the side of the straight leg. The torso turns over the side where the straight leg is. And stretch out the chest, grab onto a pole or to a door frame, and you're going to just hold and pull in the opposite direction. You should feel this in the chest and front of the shoulder. And do the same thing on the other side. Grab a pole of a machine, or if you don't have the equipment, you can grab a door frame and just turn to the torso away from your hand that's holding on to the door or the machine. Stretching the chest and the shoulder. Stretching the chest and bicep muscles by holding your hands behind your back and clasping your fingers. The further you pull your hands away from your back, the more you're going to feel this in your biceps muscles or front of the arm, and also in the chest. Remember to breathe through the stretches and only stretch to the point of feeling the tension. Stretch the back of the arm, bend the elbow of one arm, and with the opposite arm, you want to grab just a little below the elbow. You don't want to hurt the elbow joint, so grab more on the muscle and pull that bent arm towards your back. Try to reach your hands behind your back. And then switch so that you're doing the same thing on the other side. Bend the other elbow and grab just below the elbow with the opposite hand and pull it down your back. Let's finish the arms with a wrist stretch. So you're going to flex your hand towards you and hold with the opposite fingers. Pull those fingers towards your chest. Then we're going to turn that upside down, turn that arm upside down, and bring those fingers back towards your body. Get ready to do the same thing on the opposite side. Outstretched hand. The opposite hand is going to pull the flexed hand back towards your chest. Here your palm is facing down to start. And then you're going to switch where your palm is facing up. And then you can do the opposite. Bring the fingers back towards your body. Again, just stretch until the point of where you feel tension. You don't want to overstretch because overstretching could cause you to tear the soft tissue. Forward bend. You're going to reach up from the hips as high as you can and bend forward at the hips and try to reach the ground. If not, stop at your shins or your ankles or wherever you can. You can actually hold your ankles and try to pull your forehead towards your knee, and that will give you a deeper stretch in the lower back and thighs. Come up very gradually, stacking up one vertebrae on top of the other. On all fours, you're going to extend your leg and then your opposite arm, and you're going to alternate opposite arm and leg. Extend the leg and the arm, and then switch opposite leg and opposite arm. This is a great way to stretch out the back, the shoulders, the legs. From your hands and knees position, you're going to just sit back on your heels, stretching that arms and shoulders out in front of you and trying to reach your forehead towards the ground. Great lower back stretch, also stretches the quadriceps and the front of the thighs. Keep breathing and relax. And get down on your belly, push up on your elbows and gradually up towards your hands. So you're going from a half cobra position to a full cobra. If the full cobra is too much, just go back down on your elbows. Be careful not to hyperextend your spine. Great spine stretch, but only go as far as comfortable, keeping your legs on the ground. Hip twists. Legs are in front of you. You bring your feet behind you to one side and twist to the opposite side. When you twist, lift up tall before twisting. Create some space in your spine, and that will help you twist a little further. You're going to reverse to the opposite side. Legs are out in front of you. Put your feet to the opposite side, legs behind you, and twist to the opposite side of your legs. Again, sit tall as you twist and keep breathing. Seated twists, you're going to take one leg and place it across an outstretched leg with your knee bent and your feet flat on the floor, and you're going to bring your arm around that bent leg and twist towards the side of the bent leg. This is great for an outer hip stretch, outer thigh stretch. Then reverse, legs are in front, one leg stays straight, the opposite leg comes across with a bent knee and foot flat on the floor. Bring your elbow around the bent knee and twist towards that side of that bent leg. Soles of the feet are together as you sit in the butterfly position. Knees separate and come down towards the ground as far as they can go. And you can round your back and try to reach your forehead towards the soles of your feet. Great inner thigh stretch. Lift up from the waist nice and tall before you bend forward. Going to go into a shin hug while lying on your back. This is a great way to stretch the lower back. Grab your shins and bring your knees towards your chest. If you want to go deeper in the stretch, grab behind your thighs and pull your knees even closer to your chest. If this is too much, you can just stay in the original shin hug position. One leg is stretched out, the other leg is bent while you're grabbing your shin and trying to bring your knee towards your chest. The bent leg is coming towards the chest while the other leg is staying flat on the ground. This is a great hip flexor stretch in the front of the top of the thigh near the groin area. Switch legs. Opposite leg is going to go down straight on the ground, and the opposite leg will be bent and bringing that knee towards the chest. Keep breathing through the stretch and only stretch to the point of tension. Don't go too far. Stay here for a hamstring stretch. Both legs are flat, feet are flat on the ground. One leg stays bent. The other leg can be straight up in the air as you grab behind your thigh and try to bring that straight leg with flexed foot towards your chest. Only go as far as is comfortable. Then we're going to switch sides. Grab the opposite leg, extended leg, and bring that extended leg towards your chest, keeping your foot flexed. You should feel this in the back of the thighs or the hamstring muscles. Feet are flat on the ground, knees are bent. You're going to cross one ankle over the thigh and grab your thigh and bring your knees towards your chest. You can make this a little bit harder by grabbing your shin instead of the back of your thigh. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Now switch and put the opposite ankle across the opposite thigh and grab behind that thigh and bring it as close as you can towards your chest. You can also grab the shin to go deeper in the stretch and push out that inner thigh with your elbow. Lie flat on your back and reach your hands above your head. Feet are out in front of you, outstretched legs, and you're going to pull in opposite directions, pulling your torso in one direction and then your lower body in the opposite direction. And you can stretch from side to side, reaching your hands as far away as you can. Lying side twists, one leg over the other. You're going to twist to one side and then twist your torso to the opposite side that the legs have twisted. And your head will follow your torso. Do not overstretch on this one. Be careful. Return your legs and switch opposite leg over the other leg. Legs are twisting to the opposite side. And now the torso is going to the opposite side of the legs. And the head is following the torso. Keep breathing and only go as far as comfortable. Great job stretching. This is a great way to cool down and stretch all the major muscle groups. If you really want to work on flexibility training, repeat this video.